Well, that's the view of the Barnsley fans. You're listening to the EFL League One playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. And listening to Carlo van der Watering from the Red Report podcast there, Neil Redfearn. Last season, they had a distinct start of play under Michael Duff. It worked for Barnsley. They got to the playoff final. They were very unlucky not to win it with 10 men for much of that game. That style of play didn't suit Swansea, and then he moved on. Barnsley tried something different, another style of play, and maybe the longer the season's gone on, they've been caught between two stools.
Yeah, I'm always a bit dubious when I hear supporters talking about styles of play and what they should do and what they shouldn't do. Listen, it's about winning football matches. You know, Barnsley shouldn't be in the division, this first division. They should be in the championship, you know, minimum for me. My 8 years here, they were a championship club, never went below that. And I think that, you know, I think what you've got to do is you've got to make sure you win football matches first and the playing style comes second. I mean, we played, you know, the football that we played was just like watching Brazil when we got promoted, and that was from the supporters. But it was all based around winning, about playing forward, about running forward, about tackling, tracking back. You know, I think we've just got to not lose sight of the fact it's about getting promoted.
And it all comes down to, are you entertained if you win? Or do you want to be entertained irrespective of the result? And every single fan inside this ground tonight, particularly in the playoffs, you don't care how you perform, you don't care whether you're entertained, it's whether you win.
Absolutely. You know, and I think that, you know, look, you can play some of the best football in the world, but if you're getting beat every week, you'll get the sack. You know, and supporters won't come and watch it because they want to go to work on a Monday morning and go, we won again. You know, and that's how football supporters work. It's a fact. You know, I just think the standards have been lowered slightly at Barnsley. You know, the expectation. You know, they were a really good championship side pushing for the Premier League, and now, you know, they're a really good First Division side pushing for the Championship, which for me is, you know, is a lowering the standards.
But it gets tougher, of course. Barnsley, not a big town. It's a town which has had its economic issues off the field over many years, like so many others in this part of the world. But the fans are here in their numbers tonight. A crowd in excess of 12,000 for this playoff semi-final first leg. And both teams are out just exchanging their handshakes on the halfway line, along with the referee, Will Finney. Paul Newhouse and Darren Williams, his two assistants, with Benjamin Speedy, the fourth official for this game. So a reminder of the two teams once again. Barnsley, as they head towards their supporters, the most vocal bank of them in the Norming Rimington stand away to our right-hand side. Liam Roberts in goal, Josh Earl, Neil de Gevany and Jordan Williams, the back three. Luca Conwell holding in front of them. Corey O'Keefe, Herbie Kane, Adam Phillips and Nicky Cadden, with John McAtee and Devante Cole in attack. For Bolton, Nathan Baxter is their goalkeeper. Gethin Jones, Ricardo Santos and Owen Toll, their back three. Josh Sheehan will be the deepest lying midfielder behind Josh Cogley, George Thomason, Paris Mac-Homer and Randell Williams, with Aaron Collins and DM Charles in attack for them. And interestingly, Ian Evatt doesn't usually have a backup goalkeeper on the bench. He'd rather have the extra option of an outfield player, but it's the playoffs, Neil, so it's a risk he can't afford to take.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, I think you've got to cover all eventualities. You know, there's a lot at stake here tonight, Nigel, and I think that, you know, the tempo is going to be high. There's going to be tackles made. You know, there's going to be decisions have to be made. You know, and if you get your goalkeeper sent off or injured for whatever reason, God forbid, you need backup on the bench, and I think that's probably in Ian Evatt's mind.
Massive weekend of football coming up on the Talksport network. 12:30 tomorrow, game day on Talksport. The race for the Premier League. Arsenal against Bournemouth with Rashmin Chowdhury, Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. And the race for the Premier League is on Talksport 2, the conclusion of the Championship season at 12:30. We're based at Portman Road with Faye Carruthers, Ian Danta and Dean Ashton. Ipswich against Huddersfield, a point for Ipswich, and they are promoted automatically along with Leicester. Leeds will be in the playoffs. All the goals as they go in from elsewhere. Game Day Live will have all the goals from the Premier League and the Scottish Premiership. Myself and Neil will be part of the Talksport team at Bramall Lane for Sheffield United against Nottingham Forest. That's on Talksport 2. And Oxford against Peterborough will also be on Talksport 2. The other League One playoff semi-final first leg with Alex Crook and Sam Parkin. But we are about to get underway here, and it's Barnsley in all red who get the EFL playoffs underway for another season. Drama guaranteed, glory guaranteed, tears are also guaranteed as well. And Bolton defending the goal, which has their supporters behind it, away to our left-hand side, wearing an aqua blue-green kit as it's hooked forward by Thomason towards the edge of the penalty area for them. Looking for Dion Charles, but the ball will spin out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Barnsley. Both league games this season were drawn, and it was a very tight playoff semi-final last season, a 1-1 draw at Bolton. Barnsley winning here by a 1-0. Liam Kitching, who has since departed to Coventry City, scored the only goal from a set piece, and it wouldn't be a massive surprise to see a game settled in similar circumstances here tonight, Neil Redfearn, because you can't win this tie tonight, but you could lose it.
Yeah, and that'll be in both sides' minds, to be honest with you. They want to be in the tie for the second game. From Barnsley's point of view, they want to try and get some sort of advantage. Just looking at the opening exchanges, Nigel, very on the front foot, Bolton Wanderers. Looking at Randall Williams, a massive long throw down the line. I mean, that's going to be a weapon as the game goes on, but Bolton in the ascendancy at the moment.
And it's back with Nathan Baxter, the Bolton goalkeeper, who clears long downfield. Barnsley repel, but then Ricardo Santos back up towards the halfway line. Cogley with a high ball over the top, but it's controlled by Earl, and De Gevany will go all the way back to Liam Roberts, the Barnsley goalkeeper, on loan from Middlesbrough. 8 clean sheets so far this season, and he also lost in the League Two playoffs with Northampton a couple of years ago to Mansfield. They were a team who should have got automatic promotion, blew it on the final day, and then lost in the playoffs. And although this is third against sixth, and the regular season counts for very little now, at this level, the team finishing third has tended to win the playoffs in recent years, and certainly the team playing the second leg at home tends to go through. Only 7 of the last 26 finalists are in the scenario that Barnsley face, going to Bolton for the second leg.
Yeah, it's obviously a massive advantage. You know, in these opening exchanges, it's almost like they've been very direct, Bolton. They're trying to make the play in Barnsley's half. Pale blue shirts flooding around that half, you know, making it difficult for Barnsley to get a foothold in the game. But like you say, there's a lot at stake in these games. I mean, usually they're hinged on some brilliance or a mistake, and that's the sort of pressure that these players are under.
Free kick to Bolton on the far side. 3 minutes played here on Talksport 2 at Oakwell. It is Barnsley 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Over on Talksport this evening, Premier League action. Crucial game at the bottom for Luton at home to Everton. And if you download the Talksport app, you can swipe between the two commentaries as Thomason gathers on the far side for Bolton. Looks to attack the penalty area, but he's closed down by O'Keefe, and it will be a throw-in for Bolton again on the far side. And Randall Williams will look to throw it long. This time he goes back towards Toll. And now Ricardo Santos, the Bolton captain, inside the centre circle. Wide to this near side, and Mac Homer, who was back in the team this evening. Dion Charles is challenged by De Gevany on the edge of the penalty area, and the ball spins out of play on this near side, and Bolton have a throw in again, and they are making much of the running in the opening 5 minutes or so, Neil.
Yeah, they've got really good control possession. They're playing in the right areas. They've turned Barnsley around at times, and they look
now Cogley finding Collins. He's challenged inside the penalty area by Earl, and he had to time that right and did. O'Connell will try and bring the ball clear, but he runs into trouble, and eventually Bolton will win it back on the far side. And the possession stats so far would be pretty ugly for Barnsley. 4.5 minutes played, 0-0.
I think from Barnsley's point of view now, they just need to start connecting one or two passes and get a feel for this game, because they've not really got a chance to get going yet.
Cogley, the former Tranmere player, throws it back towards Maghomer on this near side. Herbie Kane does well to nip in and almost wins it back, but does at least draw a free kick for the challenge by Paris Maghomer, on loan from Brentford, back in the Bolton team tonight. Carl Dempsey dropping down to the bench, but Victor Adebojo is also available once again. Former Barnsley player, his goals in midfield have been very important for them. Liam Roberts will take the free kick for Barnsley here. Good 45 yards from goal, and he lays it down the line in the end, looking for the run into the penalty area of Adam Phillips, who was sent off in the playoff final last season against Sheffield Wednesday, but the ball was overhit and it's into the arms of Nathan Baxter.
Yeah, I think at times, you know, Phillips is one of these that makes good runs in behind. He's very cute how he times his runs. That was a good run, to be fair, and it was well seen off by Bolton in the end, but it was a lot better from Barnsley.
Now a high ball played forward again. Collins is chasing for Bolton, but the flag has been raised for offside on this near side, and it will be a free kick for Barnsley again. 61 different clubs have played in the third tier playoffs, and of course you had experience at this level with Wigan during your career.
Yeah, I mean the special games, you know, I've got through to Wembley against Gillingham. We got knocked out, we got beaten in the final by Gillingham for Wigan, but there's a lot on these games, a lot of pressure involved, you know, and it's these early moments in the games that count.
McAtee chasing on the far side for Barnsley again, the Luton loanee, brother of James.
Just looking at how they're lining up Bolton, Nigel, the two strikers are playing on the outside of the three centre-backs, if you like, so it's making it difficult for them to jump and put any pressure on further forward. So it's interesting to see how Barnsley deal with that, because they're a side that likes to jump, likes to press, likes to get numbers forward, but not being allowed to by Bolton.
And there's a risk as well that if the centre-halves are drawn wide, there'll be a huge gap for midfielders like Maghomer.
Yeah, there was one instance before where it was a straight line ball and a straight line run, and it got Bolton straight in. I mean, he was offside in the end, but it was dangerous.
Bolton fans in good voice at the start of this game. 7 minutes played, Barnsley 0, Bolton 0. They're in the Barry Murphy stand away to our left-hand side, and it's far from full. Doesn't appear that Bolton have sold their allocation, or if they have, they've certainly allowed a number of seats to be unsold for this game, as a long ball is played forward again for Barnsley, and it's gathered by Nathan Baxter. Barnsley have won only twice of the last 19 meetings between these two sides, and of course they had the heartbreak of added time defeat at the end of extra time with 10 men against Sheffield Wednesday last season, but 3 of the 4 teams involved in the semi-finals are back for another go this year, and Peterborough, after the trauma of their loss at Hillsborough from 4-0 up, will travel to Oxford in the first leg tomorrow on Talksport 2 with Alex Crook and Sam Parkin. And the League 2 playoff semi-finals get underway on Bank Holiday Monday. Crawley against Milton Keynes at 3 o'clock, Crewe against Doncaster at 5:30, and both those games will be live on Talksport 2. We've got the second legs of the League 1 ties. They will be on Tuesday night, this game, and Wednesday night for the Oxford-Peterborough game here on Talksport 2. And at the moment, the ball has barely spent any time on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, both sides trying to feel one another out, trying to turn the ball in behind each other. I think from Barnsley's point of view, they've just settled a little bit now. They've had 1 or 2 little moments in midfield where they've connected passes and got the wing backs involved, so that'll settle them down. From Bolton's point of view, they made a good start.
Kane, robbed by Maghomer in the centre circle. Now Sheehan tries to play it forward to Collins for Bolton. Almost picked out Charles on the edge of the penalty area. He breaks back towards Collins, but the high cross towards the far post was overhit, and it will be cleared away by Cadden. And in the end, it's a throw into Bolton on this near side. And at the moment, Barnsley are the home team, but Bolton Wanderers are the dominant team here with 9 minutes play.
Yeah, they're very measured how they play. You know, they'll play and play through the thirds. They'll get it in midfield. They'll try and switch play. They're very aware of switching play and getting the opposite wing back in. They're not frightened of going back to front neither, which makes them dangerous.
And you're listening to Barnsley against Bolton in the EFL League One playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's, or the McDelivery on the McDonald's app, and get tasty reward points. 18+, terms and conditions apply. Now Kane for Barnsley on the edge of the penalty area, fires a shot in, which took a deflection and spins behind for the game's first corner to Barnsley.
Yeah, see these moments in the games where Barnsley are really dangerous. As soon as they regain, they're at Bolton, they're trying to raid quickly. They've got the numbers up on them. It's 3v3, and he does well there to get a shot off Herbie Kane. It just deflects wide for a corner for Barnsley.
Herbie Kane will take it on this near side. Barnsley scored the only goal, the winner in the tie last season in the second leg from a set piece, scored by a central defender. What can they do here? All three are forward. Kane swirls it high towards the far post, but the giant figure of Ricardo Santos rises to head the ball away, and then Toll will nod the ball out of play on the far side for a throw into Barnsley. And it's a rare experience for them in the game so far, having some possession around the Bolton penalty area. And Mel de Geveny, the French central defender, will wind up for his long throw here. He's got Josh Earl and Jordan Williams to aim at the near post, but it's beyond all of those. Once again, Santos rising to clear, but it drops to Kane on the edge of the penalty area, onto the right foot, tries to slip it through towards McAtee, but it's won back now by Phillips and worked wide towards the far side. And Kane again, the low cross in, takes a deflection, it bobbles through towards McAtee, who falls inside the penalty area, then goes down clutching his head momentarily, but Bolton will clear.
Yeah, not much clarity there from that Bolton defence, you know, all a little bit nervy, slashing at clearances. That'll give Barnsley a little bit of heart. 11 minutes played, Barnsley 0, Bolton 0. Bolton have dominated so much of the game so far, but Barnsley with the game's best opportunity as backs to the goalkeeper, quickly closed down by Devante Cole, hammers the ball straight out of play on this near side. Yeah, it's just giving the crowd a little bit of a boost as well. The Barnsley fans are just starting to get behind the side. Nicky Cadden will take the throw in on this near side, finding Kane, and Kane was caught there, just clipped by Homer as he looked to motor towards the Bolton penalty area, and it's a free kick for Barnsley, 15 yards inside the Bolton half. Yeah, I think Herbie Kane's the conduit for Barnsley. He's almost wrestled the initiative away from Bolton in midfield. You know, he's a vastly experienced player now, and he's just pulling the strings a little bit for Barnsley. It's what they needed. Kane over the free kick here with Cadden on this near side, and it's Cadden who flicks it in towards Devante Cole, but it's guided away by Homer. But McAtee will gather down the Barnsley left, clips the cross in towards Cole, who's got time to bring it down. Laid back to Phillips, who hits it right-footed. Plenty of power, but just too high over the top. Yeah, brilliant ball in, to be fair. And it's good hold-up play from Devante Cole. Just sets Phillips up, and he's unlucky. He's trying to get round the shot and get it on target, but he just lifts it, it goes over the bar. But a lot better from Barnsley. Luton against Everton underway on Talksport at 8 o'clock with Joe Shannon and Scott Minto. If you download the Talksport app, you can swipe between the two games. Of course, an earlier kick-off here at 7:30, so the final half hour or so will be available to listen to on Talksport at the end of this game. No extra time or penalties here tonight, and already Will Finney, the referee, is just having words with Nathan Baxter about the tardiness of his restarts. Yeah, a little bit early to be doing that. Yeah. Barnsley's 6th appearance in the playoffs, twice promoted from League One, and they've reached 4 of their last 5 finals, but they've also lost 3 of their last 5 home games in the playoffs. As it's nodded away by Josh Earl on the far side, a player signed from Fleetwood in January, so one of his clubs this season has been relegated. He's hoping to be promoted with the second one. I just looked at them second phase moments in midfield where they've got onto the ball really well, Bolton. making it difficult for Barnsley. It's only really Herbie Kane that's competing in there. Just need to try and wrestle the initiative away from Bolton if they can.
14 minutes played, 0-0 here on Talksport 2. As Toll plays a long ball down the line, left-hand side for Bolton, but it's overhit beyond Randall Williams, and it will be a goal kick once again. And both teams have been direct so far, Neil Redfearn, but both have had far too much adrenaline pumping through those balls.
Yeah, they have, yeah. The quality's been lacking. You know, at times there's been too much pace on the ball, or it's been a straight ball which obviously runs through. Pitch has been heavily watered, so it's going to run on quickly. But they only need to get somebody in on a run. Both sides have had a little bit of joy with it and could end up in the back of the net.
And we're sat in the main stand here at Oakwell, a real old-fashioned feel about this side of the stadium, although the ground hasn't changed too much since your glory days here in the late 1990s.
Yeah, I think they put 2 seats in that stand over there. I think
Yes.
That's about it.
I've had some fairly grim away days sat in that stand over the years. Baxter again clears towards this near side and puts it straight out of play. We can see Ian Evatt making it very clear to him where the ball should have been delivered.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nervous energy going on the touchline from Ian Evatt, and it just sometimes that transmits to your players. You know, they just look a little bit panicky at times when they've got time on the ball, you know, to go and play.
Now Cole chasing forward for Barnsley again. It's headed into the penalty area by Gethin Jones. Ricardo Santos does well to turn, but then he's been robbed by McAtee. Phillips now in a central area for Barnsley. Connell wide towards the far side. Ian Evatt again is gesticulating wildly towards his backroom team in the technical area as it's brought forward by Williams on the far side for Barnsley. He checks back, looks to lay it infield towards Phillips inside the penalty area. It's then closed down quickly on the far side as Barnsley look to keep this pressure on. O'Keefe did well to win it back initially. Now Williams on the far side, the right. He goes down, and then Williams challenges Toll, and it's Dion Charles who has gone down in the end, right in front of the assistant on the far side, and Will Finney, the referee, has a decision to make here.
Yeah, I think we could be seeing the first card here, Nigel, to be honest with you, because it's a little bit reckless from Williams. I mean, still on the floor. Well, I just feel that, you know, after a half-decent start from Bolton, they're just starting to panic a little bit. You know, I think Barnsley's got to really cash in on that.
Well, Benjamin Speedie, the fourth official, is talking to Ian Evatt, and I think he's just telling him to calm down.
Yeah, it's a yellow card for Williams.
Yeah, the yellow card as well for Jordan Williams.
Yeah, I'm just saying there, though, Nigel, I just think sometimes when you're animated like that as a manager, I know there's a lot at stake, there's a lot of pressure, you know, that can transmit it to panicking to the players. And if you look at Bolton's delivery from back to front, it's been erratic. You know, maybe the manager just needs to calm down a little bit as well.
We've heard Ian Evatt at various times, being a Bolton manager, being very forthright about his team's shortcomings, but clearly he gets the best out of them on most days.
Yeah, I mean, the standards have set have been really good, and, you know, they've been successful for 3 years, but
these are pressure times for the managers as well as the players. It's a 3-game season. Now Kane fighting Connell for Barnsley, over the top, looking for Cole, but crucial header away by Santos, but O'Keefe will try and keep the ball alive on the far side, but the ball just evades his grasp. Bolton just hammer the ball forward, looking for Aaron Collins, their January signing for Bristol Rovers, but he can't keep the ball in play. But we've played 18 minutes now here on Talksport 2. The first playoff semi-final of the season, all of them live on the Talksport network from all of the divisions. It's 0-0 here, but after Bolton had a very good start to the game, Barnsley in the ascendancy at the moment. As McAtee chasing forward again, and Ricardo Santos is really holding this Bolton team together at the moment. He plays it back to Baxter, and this time his first time clearance stays on the island as he looks for Charles, but he's lost out to Earl, and now De Gevney and Kane will mop up for Barnsley. It's lofted wide to the far side, looking for O'Keefe, but Williams will win it back for Bolton. And now there's space for Randall Williams to bring it forward down the left. Early cross into the penalty area. Cannon with a miss kick at the far post, slashing the clearance high into the air. It drops towards Mag Homer on the right corner of the penalty area. McHomer's now got support from Jones on the outside. Back towards McHomer again. Cogley is forward inside the penalty area. Here is McHomer though, but his cross has been blocked by Earl. Then the shot from Collins strikes a defender, loops high into the air. Thomason tries to win it back, and then another challenge. Well, Sheehan seemed to have been cut down there, and now a challenge comes in from Kane by Cogley, and a free kick has been given. And I have to say, I thought the first challenge on Sheehan was a free kick. That was one on Cadden, but there was certainly a rash challenge there on the Barnsley player, and that could lead to the first Bolton yellow card.
Yeah, the initial one for me was a yellow card challenge. The referee let that go, and I think, I mean, he's all right, he's up Herbie Kane, but I think that the challenge after was just a reaction. He's just got to be careful here and get a lid on this, the ref, because what he doesn't want to do is let it get out of hand and start brandishing lots of cards, because there's been no malice so far. It's been competitive, but it's been played in a good manner.
20 minutes played, 0-0. Free kick taken short by Roberts for Barnsley. Towards De Gevany. And Phillips will now lay it wide to the far side. Williams early forward looking for Kane. And the high ball in towards Cole, and Kane in the end was claimed by Baxter. But now there's a problem for Devante Cole, who has gone down inside the 6-yard area for Barnsley.
Yeah, I think he was just caught, to be fair, by Nathan Baxter as he came out. Just caught around the knee area. He's on his knees. Doesn't look good, to be fair.
Well, it's been a typical playoff semi-final so far. Frenetic, edgy, and with a touch of malice as well.
Yeah, and not much quality at the moment, I have to say, Nigel, to be honest with you. And I think it's understandable with what's at stake. You know, there's a really high tempo to the game. It's really competitive, lots of duels, lots of challenges. You know, and I just think from Bolton's point of view, perhaps they just need to relax a little bit and play a little bit more, because when they have done, they've looked dangerous. I think from Barnsley's point of view, they've got to keep that head of steam going now.
Well, the break in play has allowed both managers to bring their teams in. And Martin Devaney and Ian Evatt are both having words, and I would argue that Ian Evatt's words maybe had a slightly coarser edge to them.
Yeah, a little bit more harsh. I just think from Bolton's point of view as well, there's been times when they've regained it, done brilliant, won it back, got numbers round the ball, yeah, and then they've played hurriedly. You know, they've whipped the ball forward. You know, it's not given the strikers, Charles and Collins, much to get hold of. You know, they're both sort of average height, average build, both mobile, so they need the service to go into the feet or down the sides with quality. Not really had that yet.
Well, Devante Cole is back on his feet, and he will come back on in a second. And after all of that, play will resume with Bolton Wanderers in possession. Here is Gethin Jones on this near side. And now McHomer seemed to have been caught by Cadden. Ian Evatt certainly thought so. We have a great position here in the main stand, quite low down, just behind the two technical areas, so we get a very good view of the tension writ large at the moment.
Yeah, just look at this ruling, Nigel. They've got to let Devante Cole back on here.
Now he's allowed back on, but here is McHomer for Bolton. Excellent ball in, and Dion Charles will sweep it in, and Bolton Wanderers have the first lead in this playoff semi-final. And Dion Charles with a rapier-like finish, as he's been doing for so much of the season. And at the moment, this playoff semi-final is going with form. It is Barnsley 0, Bolton 1.
Well, it's all about the timing of the run, to be fair, from McHomer. Gets down the right-hand side, steadied himself, and whips a fantastic ball right across the 6-yard box. And it's put in brilliantly, to be fair. They're all over the shop at the back there, Barnsley. They just need to gather themselves and go and engage, but they don't. It gives McHomer a chance to put the best ball of the game in so far. It's put Bolton Wanderers in front.
Well, Dion Charles scored his first goal in 11 games on the final day of the season at Peterborough. Has had knee trouble in the closing weeks of the campaign, but that's his 19th of the season.
You see, look at Charles and Collins. They need that sort of service, Nigel. You know, it's a great ball in from Magoma. He opens himself up, gets down the line, they pick him out perfectly. But it's that sort of quality that they need to come on to. It's a great ball, and the cross makes the goal.
And there may have been a spot of trouble behind the goal away to our right. Charles did celebrate in front of the Barnsley supporters, and one or two stewards and police have just gone in there to sort out whatever happened. But Bolton lead here by a 1-0. They've not led Barnsley all season. They didn't lead them in the playoffs last season either. But now they have the opening goal, and it's come really against the run of play. Yeah, it has. You know, and the thing that probably weighing on Barnsley's minds is they're not in a great run of form. You know, and they find themselves behind. 2 points in the final 6 games for Barnsley, and they've been in the top 6 since New Year's Day, but they finish with only 2 wins in 12 after 7 wins in 10, and that cost Neil Collins his job right at the end of the season. But at the moment they're yet to enjoy a new manager bounce. Now Cadden going forward for Barnsley again, but it spins into the path of Herbie Kane on this near side, and Earl will go all the way back towards De Gevany.
Yeah, a little bit more urgency at Bolton's press now. The goals buoyed them slightly.
Now Cole in pursuit once again for Barnsley on this near side, but Maghoma will fasten on to a knockdown from Cogley. Back towards Cogley, high ball over the top again, looking for Charles, who we barely mentioned until he scored that goal, but that is the mark of a good striker.
Yeah, I mean, his timing of his run's excellent. He gets in front of the defender. There's the quality of the cross that sets the goal up brilliantly. They're just playing with a little bit more lift, a little bit more confidence now. The goal's setting Bolton down, starting to connect passes. You can see the shape, brilliant. I think from Barnsley's point of view now, they need to settle themselves down, because they've got to try and get something out of this first leg if they can.
As we said, Leeds in 2008 are the last team to win promotion, or get to the final even. They lost that season to Doncaster, but to lose the home leg, they lost to Carlisle before going up to Brunton Park and winning that season. Now Devante Cole again does well to ride the challenge of Sheehan, plays it wide to McAtee, all on his own. He goes for the early shot from about 40 yards out wide on the right hand side, under pressure from Santos. It's gathered by Baxter, and McAtee sort of turns around and shrugs and said, what else could I do?
Yeah, a little bit rash his decision there. It's a really high tariff. I don't know how he's going to get it in the goal from there. He'd been better getting his body in the way, holding the ball up and getting some cavalry up with him.
Now Jones on this near side. Maghoma back towards Jones again for Bolton, leading here by a 1-0. Sheehan plays it square towards Owen Toll, one of 3 central defenders, but 2 of them are forward now, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Ricardo Santos, the only Bolton player back. Here is Collins now inside the penalty area, just slips as he looks to control. De Gevany makes the challenge, and in the end Barnsley will clear away. McAtee though rather loses the flight of the ball, and Bolton have it back. 27 minutes played here on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL, the home of the EFL playoffs, and it's Barnsley 0, Bolton Wanderers 1.
Yeah, good little phase of play there from Bolton around the box. They're growing in confidence. The goal's given them a massive lift. Barnsley just struggling to find their way a little bit at this moment in time.
And now Barnsley do have a free kick for a challenge on Luke O'Connell from George Thomason, and it becomes a real test here for Martin Devaney and his players, because they can't afford to concede another one.
No, they can't. You know, and what you've got now is you've got a side that's nearly got automatic promotion with the tails up, got the goal. You know, from Barnsley, they've got to find something from somewhere. They've got plenty of time to do it though.
And now Barnsley have given the ball away to Gevany, straight towards Sheehan. Now Thomason quickly wide to this near side of Maghoma again. Charles points to where he wants it inside the penalty, but Maghoma goes himself and he fires the shot in right-footed, and it wasn't too far over the top.
Yeah, that's a great effort, to be fair, from Maghoma. He's made a big difference on this right-hand side at right wing-back. He's got forward really well. Great ball in for the goal, and he's really unlucky there. That just clears the crossbar. Great pass to find him, switch a play again. They've done that 2 or 3 times now, Bolton, to good effect.
1 or 2 Bolton fans opting to go shirtless in the stand away to our left-hand side.
It is warmer in Yorkshire, though.
Yeah, it's a balmy night in Yorkshire, really. Only one overcoat needed tonight. Although, look, to be honest, it's absolutely perfect conditions. Not too warm, not too cold. And crucially, it's not raining, which wasn't the case for much of my drive from the south earlier on today, as Dion Charles chases another ball forward, and it's claimed by Liam Roberts on the edge of the penalty area. And now Cole in pursuit again for Barnsley on the far side, but Santos's positional sense has been really good for Bolton so far, and he just shuffles across to another ball out of play. Yeah,
he's been excellent. Santos at the back, you know, particularly with the crosses that have come in, he's almost been like a magnet to the ball. It's cleared danger when there has been danger for Bolton. You know, and you get somebody with that sort of magnitude and size at the back that gives you that presence. I think it's a massive thing. You know, it gives them confidence to go and attack things.
Half an hour played, Bolton leading by a 1-0. As Cole in pursuit again, but he's bumped off it by Santos. It's high over both of their heads and claimed again by Baxter. They'll be underway very soon at Kenilworth Road over on Talksport in the Premier League. Luton against Everton, a win for Luton, and they will be out of the relegation zone, and that will pile the pressure on Nottingham Forest, who are live on Talksport 2 at Sheffield United tomorrow.
Just watching Dion Charles' movement has been excellent. He hasn't been involved a lot. Obviously, he's had the main involvement, which has got the goal, but his movement's been really, really good. Suxton fenders in short, and then he opens himself up and looks to go down the sides. And he's a fantastic young striker.
Now Earl does well to stride away from Charles and plays it forward to Phillips. Wide to the far side again. And O'Keefe skips away from Williams. The low cross into the near post once again. Only finds the head of Ricardo Santos, who stoops to head the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's good play, to be fair, from O'Keefe. Just drops his shoulder. That's a couple of times now he's gone past his man. Just needs to try and find that final ball to go with it. Cleared at the near post by the big centre-back.
Nicky Cadden will take the corner kick for Barnsley on the far side. 13 minutes to play in the first half. Bolton leading here by a 1-0. Cadden whips it in towards the near post. It travels all the way through. It took a deflection as well. McAtee was the player who went down. Now Kane back towards Williams, and Kane again now onto the right foot, lofts it high towards the far post over the head of O'Keefe, who's offside anyway, and that will be a free kick for Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah, those little moments when they've got a chance to get a better delivery in Barnsley, they've got to do more with it. Herbie Kane this time, it's really big, that cross, and just goes out the back, caught offside as well. You know, they haven't really helped themselves at times, Barnsley, in these opening exchanges.
And we are in the oldest part of Oakwell here, the main stand, which has been creaking for many, many years, and there are, in the back passage behind this stand, loads of little curious outbuildings and things you wouldn't necessarily expect in a football ground. And at one stage you'll have to tell us about the secretary's ginger cat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In fact, tell us now.
Yeah, well, we used to go and pick us wage slips up in them days. You got your wage slips, and obviously this ginger cat used to have a bowl of cat food on the top, but it was a really aggressive cat, to the point where it frightened the striker Andy Ramsell to death. He got other people to go in and get his wage slip for him. So he thought the cat was going to get him.
If you're out of the team, a paw would simply come across and take your pay slip for you.
Yeah.
And that was in one of the little rooms at the back of there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the secretary's office at the time.
Nothing's really changed here, has it?
Not really, the buildings are still the same.
But it's a free kick on the far side for Barnsley from an offside decision, and they need a lift now. 33 minutes played here. Barnsley 0, Bolton 1 in the Sky Bet League One playoff semi-final first leg.
I just think they've just not got a panic, have they, Nigel, Barnsley?
No.
You know, they've not really been in it how they'd like to have been in it, you know, as a home leg, but not got a panic.
No away goals in the playoffs, so
yeah.
Look, a 1-0 defeat is not a good result, but it's not a terminal result.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it takes a second to score a goal, and obviously the pressure comes back on Bolton then at home.
Santos hammers it forward now for Bolton, over the top. Looking for Collins, but Earl will allow the ball to drift out of play, and it will be a throw into Barnsley, wearing all red, defending the goal away to our left in the first half here. Jordan Williams, the one player booked so far, will bring it forward now for Barnsley. And he's got time to play it high, looking for Cole again, but Santos will just get there first and head the ball away, and Devante Cole is getting no change out of Ricardo Santos whatsoever at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've got to try and look down the sides of the other two centre-backs, to be honest with you. Barnsley, I think they'll get more joy that way.
Cogley in behind, looking for Charles, who just stoops in to try and head the ball beyond the advancing goalkeeper Liam Roberts, but gets too much on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But again, one striker making one run, and Barnsley look in all sorts of trouble. Yeah,
opposite movements. I mean, they play ever so well together, Charles and Collins. You know, he's got the pace to get in behind Charles. It's a really well-timed run again. Good ball as well.
Now Connell for Barnsley, their holding midfielder, who came through the academy at Bolton Wanderers before moving on to Celtic. Now it's in towards Cole again, and Ricardo Santos challenges him. Devante Cole believes he went through the back of him, but no free kick's been given, and it will be a throw into Bolton Wanderers on the far side. And at the moment they are in control of this playoff semi-final, leading by a goal to nil. Bolton twice promoted to the Premier League through the playoffs, this their 9th appearance, but they've had a number of defeats at this level, including the final to Tranmere back in 1991. What a day that was. Now Cadden on this near side, down the line for McAtee. McAtee with the back heel, looking to release Cadden, but Cogley gets there first and will run the ball out of play. It will be a throw into Barnsley.
Yeah, good defending in the end. Good running from Cadden to get himself forward on that left wing-back position. I just think from Barnsley's point of view, they just need a little bit more out of Cole and McAtee.
Now Cadden back towards Kane, and further square to Phillips. He hits one right-footed. Again, he struck it well, but it was some way from the target.
Very, very difficult technique. He's striking a ball that's rolling across him. You know, something as a midfield player, I know myself, it's really difficult technique. You've got to get right round the ball and strike across it to get it on target. And it goes flashes wide of the post.
Now Jones was caught by Cole as he tried to play it forward. Ian Evatt thought it was a free kick. Martin Devaney applauds Cole's endeavour. Still goalless in the early stages at Kenilworth Road between Luton and Everton over on Talksport. And don't forget, we have the final day of the Championship season here on Talksport 2 tomorrow. Ipswich against Huddersfield will be our main game. A point for Ipswich and they will be promoted. And I know you've got Leeds leanings, Neil Redfearn, but Ipswich is an incredible story.
Yeah, I mean, he's done absolutely fantastically well, you know, to get Ipswich in such a position. But I just think that, you know, from Leeds' point of view, that there's been an erosion of results and performances over the last maybe 4 or 5 games, and I think that's what's done them.
And it looks as though, although anything could happen, they will be in the playoffs as well in the Championship. And it could be Daniel Farke going back to Norwich for the first leg. That will be something. And of course that game will be live on Talksport next weekend. Next Sunday, both of the Championship playoffs. They'll be back-to-back on Talksport. The League Two playoffs starting on Bank Holiday Monday. We also have Palace against Manchester United from the Premier League on Talksport at 8 o'clock. As Mac Homer wants a free kick as he goes down on the edge of the Barnsley penalty area. Nothing given, and they will try and break with Connell. Good run from him beyond Sheen. He's got Cole peeling away to the left, but the pass towards him was just slightly deflected, which gave Jones the opportunity to clear. And in the end, it breaks down for Barnsley, and Santos will shepherd it back towards Baxter.
Yeah, they've got around the second phase, brilliant. It's a great run, to be fair, from Luca Connell. Just evades 2 challenges, and he's looking to slip the ball through, and they get the challenge in to just take the ball off him. And it's Big Santos that's there again.
Santos now just hammers the ball straight out of play. And he's a player who arrived when Bolton were in the lower reaches of League Two. And he's been a major part of their rise. Has had 2 yellow cards this season, but he's absolutely all in, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. And that presence that he's got has been massive in these opening exchanges.
And he's there again just to hammer the ball to safety. He's a central defender who keeps it simple. And at times like this, that's the right plan.
Yeah, particularly when you're 1-0 up.
Now Kane, back towards Connell. Cadden tries to skip away from Maghoma, but Maghoma saw that move coming and steps across to win it back, and he'll now try and take on Cadden, and he clears the ball away himself. Collins allows the ball to run. Charles almost wins it back from De Gevany, but Thomason challenges Connell, and it will be a free kick, or rather a throw-in for Barnsley on this near side, with 5 minutes of the first half to play here on Talksport 2, as Kane plays it square now to Phillips on the edge of the penalty area. When Randall Williams comes across to clear, Charles is back to defend as well, and now Thomason plays a good ball forward down the left-hand side, and Collins will chase, and he'll get there. He's got Williams waiting in the centre, but he makes no contact with the diving header at the near post, and that was an opportunity for Bolton. There may still be one. Here is Cogley now. Cogley pulls it back towards the edge of the penalty area, and it was fired towards goal by Collins, and then Maghoma wrestling Cole to the ground, and it will be a free kick for Barnsley. And a yellow card shown as well.
Yeah, I think he's took one for the team there, Maghoma. I mean, he's just wrestled him to the ground, Devante Cole. Great break by Bolton, though. They've looked far the more lively of the 2 sides. They've got in behind Charles and Collins. His movement's been excellent. You know, they've had a bit of a chasing, really, the back 3 for Barnsley. You know, they'll be glad. I think Martin Devaney will be glad to get his team in at half-time and just set them back up again and give them a little bit of confidence and give them some direction.
Cleared downfield by Roberts again. And it was flicked away by a Bolton head on the far side, and it will be a throw-in for Barnsley. Bolton believed it was a foul throw, but it's allowed to continue. And here is Williams with the cross in towards the near post. Santos is there to head the ball away. And it's all the way back to the halfway line for Barnsley and De Gevany, and then clipped in towards McAtee. Tries to flick the ball on for Cole, but again Bolton will just nip in. They're doing the simple things well, Bolton. Sheehan with a challenge this time. It's played long looking for Collins, and it's headed back by De Gevany towards Roberts.
Well, they've had a good 20 minutes here, Bolton, where they're not too bothered where it looks like. You know, the score's important to them, 1-0. They want to get in at half-time with a clean sheet. That's really apparent. Santos has been immense in that period.
Now Williams down the line, far side, looking for support, finding it from O'Keefe. Kane. And Barnsley here are finding it very hard to create at the moment. It's all rather laboured in possession. McAtee coming short, and he now pings a good ball wide towards Cadden on this near side. He will try and take on Cogley, but Cogley's quick, and that's why Cadden tried to deliver the early cross in, but in the end it was blocked. But Cadden regains possession. Here is Earl forward now, but a dreadful ball from him straight to Collins. He tries to release Maghoma, and Ian Evatt shows his frustration because a better ball there, Maghoma would have been away, but in the end it gave De Gevany the opportunity to make the interception.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk at the back here for Barnsley. Really pressed well there, Bolton. Yeah, if you're looking at it realistically, it's a good job they've done on them so far, Bolton. You know, they've come, set the stall out, set off on the front foot, got a stranglehold on the game, really didn't let Barnsley off the floor as such.
But now an opportunity possibly for Phillips, who was making the run forward, but in the end it was always Baxter's ball, and it has been Bolton's half so far as we enter the final minute of normal time. Still Luton 0, Everton 0 over on Talksport at Kenilworth Road in the Premier League. But only one shot on target so far, and that was the goal scored by Dion Charles in the 23rd minute. And Barnsley have had more possession, but Bolton have had more meaningful possession, let's say.
Yeah, if you look at the expected goals, or 0.10 for Barnsley, 0.85 for Bolton. They're carrying the heavier threat. Bolton not really got in front of goal, Barnsley, at all.
And that's the problem for them the longer this game goes on.
You know, he might have to look to his bench. To be fair, Martin Devaney, you know, sometimes you just got to change it around, shake it up a little bit, ask Bolton a different question. Still a long way to go. We're not at half-time yet.
And of course, the second leg to come live on Talksport 2 at the Tough Sheet Stadium on Tuesday, as Ricardo Santos is penalised here for dragging down John McAtee, and there will be a minimum of 3 added minutes here at the end of the first half at Oakwell on Talksport 2. And it will begin with the Barnsley free kick, which Kane and Cadden are over.
You're just looking for something a little bit more inventive, because anything that comes aerially centrally is going to be headed away by Santos.
Well, this time they do try something different. It's nodded forward towards Phillips, who tries to play the ball in, but again Santos was there again. I'm not quite sure what his expected headers are in the first half, but I would imagine he's surpassing it.
Yeah, he's like a magnet to the ball at the moment. But you've got to ask the question, Barnsley, they've got to do something a little bit different. You know, be a little bit more football bright around the box. You know, looking at Devante Cole, he's putting himself up against him and battling with him. Well, there's only one winner. And it'd be better pulling either side of the other two centre-backs and getting down the sides of them.
You do look at their bench and you wonder where the potential threat is going to come from. It's a really difficult one for Martin Devaney, because I think pretty much his best team is out there.
Yes, you'd say so. But you know, just a little tweak, you know, in midfield, whether you could push O'Connell further forward, Luke O'Connell, you know, and give Herbie Kane a freer role as such. It's all been a little bit regimented in midfield, and they've gone up against them, Bolton, and just seen it off.
And Bolton have got the greater pace in the wide areas, particularly on this near side with Cogley and Maghoma, and I think Barnes have been trying to contain that, but when they do have the ball, they've got no real outlet to try and go against it. As Kane hooks it forward now, looking for Cole, it's knocked away by Santos, but the loose ball was almost gathered by Cole, but Thomason comes in to win it back for Bolton. And now on the halfway line, it's Williams. Down the line for Corey O'Keefe. O'Keefe, though, is forced back towards the halfway line. And so much of Barnsley's best players come when they've looked to force the issue, but now, since the goal, I think they're just wondering whether they stick or twist at times.
Yeah, I think O'Keefe's been a threat.
Here is Connell looking to play the ball forward now into the penalty area. Phillips was almost in. It was Toll who made the challenge, and Randell Williams was quick enough to avoid the corner.
Yeah, it's a great challenge from Toll. He's got to tackle and he's got to make that challenge right. He's got to get the timing right.
Now O'Keefe plays it down the line far side. He goes down looking for a free kick, but Will Finney, the referee, says nothing doing.
Yeah, I mean, physically it's been a challenge for Barnsley. You know, they're outnumbered physically.
Now another Barnsley player has gone down on the far side, and it's O'Keefe again, and George Thomason has shown a yellow card.
Yeah, they've got to be careful, Bolton, with this card, these yellow cards that have been brandished about, because he only needs to miss time another challenge, and that's you off the pitch.
Again, Ian Evatt had words there with Benjamin Speedy, the fourth official.
Just trying to lip read what he was saying there, Ian Evatt. They were talking about ball speed. I don't think he was happy with, you know, the way that they were laboured on the ball there. Bolton could have played quicker and maybe countered.
It may just be time for this free kick at the end of the first half here on Talksport 2. We'll be looking ahead to the Championship final day during half-time. Free kick Hammered in towards the edge of the 6-yard area, goes a long way and bounces all the way through behind De Gevney at the far post. Now Kane, the ball lofted across the penalty area. O'Keefe heads it back infield. Thomason is there to clear, and that is half-time. And Bolton Wanderers are in control at the moment, and their fans give their team a great ovation as they run down the tunnel. Look at the Bolton team go. They sprint down the tunnel to get into the dressing room at half-time. Whether that's to escape Ian Everett or not, I don't know, but it's a statement of intent, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's half a job. You know, you can see that. There's been far more intensity about Bolton's play. You know, they've looked a bigger threat. You know, the stats suggest that. The XG's up for Bolton. You know, they deserve to be in front at half-time.
And just looking back on that first half in more detail, Neil, the one moment of quality was the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that was a master stroke to bring Magoma back in, because he's been a real threat down this right-hand side. It's a great ball to pick him out, and his pace takes him away from the defenders, and he whips an exquisite ball across the box for Charles to get on the end of. I mean, Charles has been the standout striker. Collins has worked really hard, you know, but he's deserved his goal, to be fair, Charles. And they deserve to be in front, Bolton.
And for Barnsley, they've had their moments, but you just feel as though they haven't got almost the belief, because Bolton have got the pace, they've got maybe the added quality, but they're also a team in form, and we often say form goes out of the window in the playoffs, but it's not here tonight.
No, I mean, it's been really apparent. I mean, I think from Barnsley's point of view, they've been a little bit predictable how they've gone back to front. You know, you're not going to get any change out of Santos if you've got McAtee and Cole up against him. Physically, it's a non-starter. So they've got to find a way of manufacturing that ball down the side and start dragging the big man out of the middle and getting runners from midfield. Williams is the perfect candidate. Phillips, sorry, is the perfect candidate, because he's got a goal in his locker, but we've not really seen it this half.
And what can Barnsley do to maybe change the course of this game?
Well, I just think they've probably got to play a little bit more and connect passes a little bit more. They've pressed spasmodically, to be fair, Bolton, but it's not been an out-and-out press. I think there's moments where they can get it down and play, you know, and have a little bit of sustained pressure in and around that Bolton box. But at this moment in time, we've not really seen that.
And for Bolton, as we've been saying, they are the away team. They've got the home leg to come. They've been very strong at home this season. I mean, a draw wouldn't be a terrible result for them, but if they get the win here, it is difficult to make a case for Barnsley. We see playoff miracles. We saw one in League One last season, but you just feel that if Barnsley are to go through, they've got to come out and win this game in the second half.
Well, I think this is a tough one anyway, but for an inexperienced manager as such, or a caretaker manager, it's a nightmare, because you're asking him to change something that's, you know, that's going one way at this moment in time, and to have the know-how and knowledge to do that takes some doing. And I just can't see it happening at this moment in time, you know. But I think from Barnsley's point of view, they've got to keep doing the right things. They've got to try and get the wing backs in play. O'Keefe's been in a handful for him down that right hand side. He's got the beating of his man. I think he's got to get better delivery in the box. He's beaten him 2 or 3 times and put poor crosses in. Try and keep the ball away from Santos if they can, because he's been like a magnet to it. He's a man mountain. You're not going to get any change there. You know, and probably shoot a little bit more around the box. They've got in some good areas and not really took their opportunities. More
from the Redfearn coming up in the second half here on Talksport 2. We'll be looking ahead to the final day of the Championship season shortly. But at the moment here, it is Barnsley 0, Bolton 1 at half-time. This is Playoffs Live on Talksport 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the EFL. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. How's this for a tasty lineup? A McCrispy and a strawberry milkshake. Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
It's time to spring into makeover mode with the Oak Furnitureland Bank Holiday Sale, where you can save on every range. Save on a luxurious bed for waking up ready to seize brighter days. A stylish sofa to sprawl on once the garden's prepped for summer. or a stunning dining table and chairs for entertaining the night away. And right now, enjoy 3 years interest-free credit and no deposit to pay from just $499. The Oak Furnitureland Bank Holiday Sale ends Monday. Finance T's and C's apply. Oak Furnitureland is a credit broker, not a lender.
Got a paintwork scratch, bumper scuff or minor dent? Want it fixed like new? Of course you do. At Chips Away, we don't judge, we just fix it. Enter a few details online for a free, no-obligation estimate. We'll come to you, or you can visit one of our car care centres. For professional, affordable car body repairs with a lifetime guarantee, visit chipsaway.co.uk. Chips Away, like it never happened.
We're not a bit Spanish. We're not vaguely Spanish. Somewhat Spanish or Spanish. Estrella Galicia Cerveza is 100% Spanish. Just look for the label. Brew slowly for 5 generations in A Coruña, using the finest Galician ingredients. So as a 100% authentic Spanish beer, it's time we say, cheers to the pretenders. We'll take it from here. Estrella Galicia. Spanish, not Spanish.
At NFU Mutual, we believe business insurance should be tailored to your needs. So we get to know your business personally to give you confidence that you have the right cover. And you can easily speak to your local agent or call our UK team. So it's no wonder over 95% of our business customers renew each year. For business insurance with a personal service, search NFU Mutual Business Insurance. NFU Mutual. Closer to your business and closer to what matters.
Summer is coming with Lidl Be Super Ready. Get 15% off our award-winning deluxe Aberdeen Angus beef burgers to kickstart Barbie season. They're now just $2.54 with Lidl Plus. Download the Lidl Plus app and start saving today. Subject to availability, valid until the 8th of May 24. 18 plus, GB residents. Full T's and C's apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Fancy some extra fries for extra time? Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
Get set for a sizzling summer of sensational soccer.
They're off and running.
UEFA Euro 2024 is coming.
I don't need to tell you what comes next.
It's Destination Deutschland as Talksport embarks on a totally Teutonic travelogue of European football.
Oh, what a winner!
From the matches in Munich to the clashes in Cologne.
Brilliant football.
This June, Talksport and Talksport 2 bring you full, uninterrupted commentary of every game of UEFA Euro 2024 live from Germany.
They are back in the big time.
Euro 2024, live aus Deutschland, starts June 14.
It is game on
Talksport.
Game day. The goals are calling.
Tomorrow.
Exclusive kick-by-kick commentary of Sheffield United versus Nottingham Forest.
Coverage from 2:30. Kick-off 3 p.m.
on Talksport 2.
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken with White and Jordan.
Listen to the latest show whenever and wherever you want with Outspoken, the podcast from Talksport.
I still think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
All killer, no filler conversation.
Did you say that he should be investigated by trading standards?
That doesn't pull any punches.
Yeah, because he was rubbish.
Outspoken with Jim Mighty White and Lord Simon Jordan.
That's a bit over the top.
Well, there we are.
Out now.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
High octane football coverage.
That's it.
The League One playoff semi-finals. Live on Talksport
2. We are about to get underway here, and it's Barnsley in all red who get the EFL playoffs underway for another season. Drama guaranteed, glory guaranteed, tears are also guaranteed as well. Here is Matt Comer for Bolton. Excellent ball in, and Dion Charles will sweep it in, and Bolton Wanderers have the first lead in this playoff semi-final.
They're all over the shop at the back there, Barnsley. They just need to gather themselves and go and engage, but they don't. It gives McGovern a chance to put the best ball of the game in so far. It's put Bolton Wanderers in front.
It is Barnsley 0, Bolton 1. And that's the most significant moment of this playoff semi-final first leg in League One. We have the whole of the second half to come live from Oakwell shortly over on Talksport in the Premier League. It is Luton 0, Everton 1. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a penalty after 24 minutes And if it stays like that, Luton would remain a point behind Nottingham Forest in the relegation zone. Forest will be live on Talksport 2 tomorrow afternoon. Myself and Neil will both be there at Bramwell Lane for Sheffield United against Nottingham Forest. Of course, the Blades already relegated, blunted this season, but Forest could have a massive opportunity to make a long stride towards safety with a victory there tomorrow. Luton have it all to do, as Barnsley do here. And tomorrow, the live EFL action continues here on Talksport 2. We'll bring you the final day of the Championship season, all the build-up and live commentary from Portman Road as Ipswich host Huddersfield. And the Suffolk club need only a point to secure a second successive promotion and Premier League football. And it promises to be a dramatic day.
On the half volley, deflected it in, and Ipswich Town have their first goal back in the Championship.
Ipswich are the first newly promoted side to win their first 3 games in the Championship since Southampton and Brighton back in 2010-11. Saints won promotion that year. You wonder.
Certainly our focus is on the here and now, and for the supporters it's nice to dream, but also I hope they keep enjoying these moments as well.
1-0 to Leicester, but here's Morsey for Ipswich, shooting, deflecting, it's in! Ipswich are level!
From where the club were sort of 2 years ago to the transformation they've made now under Kieran McKenna has been absolutely remarkable.
They're back on level terms. They've done it against Leicester again.
He's a genius. The way he thinks, his mind is just incredible.
It's another remarkable Ipswich comeback. Never right off Ipswich Town.
It's going to be a huge occasion. It isn't done yet, but it has been such a phenomenal season. It's been a phenomenal couple of years under Kieran McKenna.
Cameron Burgess has put Ipswich back in front, driving it in, and once again, limbs in the away end. Just 1 point against Huddersfield on Saturday lunchtime will confirm that Ipswich will join Leicester automatically in next season's Premier League.
Well, it's going to be some day at Portman Road. A point against Huddersfield, who are basically relegated, and that will be enough for back-to-back promotions for Kieran McKenna and his team. Early today on Talksport Breakfast, Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour caught up with the former Ipswich manager Mick McCarthy, and he believes it's been an incredible year for the club and their manager Kieran McKenna.
Kieran McKenna's done an incredible job. Like I said, we got to the semi-finals and sadly lost, but these guys, having come in when he did and won the first division, and nobody expects the promoted teams to go ahead and do what they've done. And in a remarkable way as well. The football they've been playing is fantastic. The goals that they've scored, and it doesn't matter. Somebody else gets one back, they just couldn't score another one. They've been fabulous. I've got Kieran down for the manager of the year.
Harry Redknapp said that earlier as well.
The top one, not just for the Championship, the manager of the year. It's wonderful what he's done.
It looks as if, I don't know much about the consortium who put money in, Mick. You know, you were restricted what you had to spend as manager, but I think it's the American hedge fund, and there's more to come, I believe. They're going to have to find it if we get up, that's for sure. But, you know, who's to say we can't go up there and put on a show and stay up? You know, it's difficult. You know, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? Championship to Premiership, as most teams find out. But if there is serious money behind, and we can strengthen a little bit, I'm not saying get rid of 8 and bring 8 in. I'm not saying that. But it gives us a chance, doesn't it, if we get up? I've got to keep saying if we get up because we're not there yet.
I know. And it's amazing that, you know, I remember doing it myself, and I think we were 6 points clear with 3 games to go, and we kept saying if. We'd won loads of games and we still didn't know. So Ipswich will be doing the same, but they'll be going up. Yeah, in terms of finance, I don't want to put some cold water on what's going on. Burnley won it at a canter last year.
Yeah,
they were brilliant. The football they played was just incredible. For the job they did that last season was wonderful. It's just so different. Sheffield United went up well. Luton, who were the third who won it through the playoffs, they look like the ones who can stay up. It's how you manage it. But I mean, what Kieran McKenna's done, I think he can do anything. I don't know what he can do. He can turn wine to water.
Well, that's the view of the former Ipswich manager Mick McCarthy and, of course, the former Ipswich striker Alan Brazil alongside Ray Parlour on Talksport Breakfast this morning. Both teams are out here for the second half, and on Monday night, straight after Crewe against Doncaster in the League Two playoffs, Hugh Woolsoncroft will be alongside the former Arsenal and Stevenage midfielder Adrian Clark for EFL All Access, reacting to all of the final day drama from the Championship and, of course, the playoffs, looking back on the semi-finals and looking ahead to the second legs coming up this week. EFL All Access, 7:30 on Monday evening here on Talksport 2. Elijah Adebayo has equalised for Luton over on Talksport, 1-1 now against Everton, and we are underway in the second half here at Oakwell in the League One playoff semi-final first leg. Barnsley 0, Bolton Wanderers 1 at half-time. Neil Redfearn, the former Barnsley captain who guided his team into the Premier League back in 1997, is alongside me. No changes to either side, but Barnsley need a change in mindset.
Yeah, they just need to start causing more of a threat. I think that's the big thing, Nigel. You know, round the box, need to start taking more shots, more efforts at goal, start hitting the target, make the keeper work. You know, I haven't really had that much to do, Nathan Baxter in the Bolton goal, but I think from Bolton's point of view, they'll be really pleased with how this is panning out.
Well, Barnsley did not really have a meaningful effort on target in the first half. Bolton, of course, scored the goal, and that's all that matters as far as they're concerned. The only shot on target we've had in the game so far. Barnsley 4 efforts on goal, none on target. Bolton have had 5, 1 on target. Barnsley with more possession, but Bolton have looked by far the more effective side. And crucially, they look like they've been up for this.
Yeah, they do. You know, and what they've done is they've basically flipped the shape round in midfield, where they usually sit with one off, they're playing with a 10, and they've locked onto a Connell. So, you know, it's made it even harder for Barnsley to play.
Williams brings it forward now on this near side, but he's forced to check back under pressure from Aaron Collins. Another very canny Ian Evatt signing in the January transfer window from Bristol Rovers. Scored 8 times in 19 games, including a hat-trick against Reading, just to supplement the goal threat of Dion Charles. Toll plays it forward for Bolton on this near side, but it's played out by Roberts and then back towards Degevany on this near side. Hammered high from him, looking for Cole. Cole does well to actually win the aerial duel with Jones. Santos comes across to tidy up. He seemed to lose out for a second, and then he's helped out by Toll, and it's scrambled clear, but that wasn't too clever from Bolton.
No, Roddy's looked a little bit there, Santos, to be fair. I don't think he was aware of Cole coming down the side of him. Put good pressure on, particularly McAtee. Try to get hold of it and turn it round for his strike partner. It's better from Barnsley. Try and get on the offensive as quickly as they can.
Bolton scored 86 goals during the regular season, but crucially 52 of those were at home. They had 1 or 2 problems away from home, and of course their only defeat in their last 12 was away from home at Derby, and that turned out to be the crucial one, as Williams is challenged on this near side by McAtee, fouled by McAtee, and it will be a free kick for Barnsley.
See, that's silly from McAtee, because he times his run quite well. He gets down the side, he's putting the defender under pressure, and he fouls him. So he takes all the pressure off Bolton. You know, it's a free kick for Bolton now. They're not going to play out from the back. They're going to get themselves up the pitch. They're going to get inside Barnsley's shape. They're going to go and fight for it. They don't need to do anything different at this moment in time, because they're winning 1-0.
Collins will now leap with Degevany. Both players go tumbling, and in the end the free kick has been given to the defending team. A reminder of the two sides again. Robertson goal for Barnsley, Earl, Degevany, Williams their back 3, Connell holding in midfield, O'Keefe, Kane, Phillips and Cadden behind McAtee and Cole. Baxter in goal for Bolton, their back 3, Jones, Santos and Toll. Sheehan is the holding midfielder, Cogley, Thomason, Williams and Collins across midfield, with Charles and Collins in attack. As it's played forward again on this near side for Aaron Collins to chase, but Williams will allow the ball to run out of play. Now O'Keefe on this near side, back towards Williams, who tries to swirl it infield, looking for Kane, but it's cut out by the Australian international Gethin Jones. Now the pace of Paris Maghoma up towards the edge of the penalty area. Thomason tries to work the 1-2, but the cross delivered at the far post into the penalty area by the overlapping Jones, and in the end the ball is scrambled behind. In fact, it was Cogley who delivered the cross in, and it's scrambled behind off Cogley for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's great defending by Josh Earl, to be honest with you. Gets across and spots the danger. Just puts a block in, it ricochets off, and they get the look, Barnsley.
On this near side, Barnsley try and build now with Williams. And it's back towards Connell, who looks upfield. There's not too many options ahead of him. Ian Evatt again is doing his fruit on this near side for some reason, but Barnsley will try and build with Phillips. Phillips again back towards Williams. At times, watching Ian Evatt has been a lot more entertaining than watching the football.
Yeah, he's really animated, to be fair. He's got to be
there's so
pleased.
much on the line.
Yeah, and he's got to be pleased with his way, way his side's played. I think the two strikers for me have been absolutely outstanding, Dion Charles and Aaron Collins. It's just the energy and the work ethic. And if you look across the other side at McAtee and Cole, nothing's stuck, nothing's happened for him. And they've lacked a little bit of energy at times.
Well, Devante Cole, only one goal in his last 17 games leading the Barnsley attack. John McAtee does have 15 goals this season as well. Cole has 18, but so many of those came in the first half of the season when Barnsley looked very good.
Yeah, they definitely need one now.
Great atmosphere inside Oakwell at the moment for this playoff game. All the supporters know just how important the next week or so is, with a Wembley final to come as Sheehan challenges the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper Roberts has fouled him, and it's a penalty for Bolton. And that was a defensive nonsense from Barnsley. The back header from Williams towards Roberts. The goalkeeper made a real hash of it. Sheehan got there first. He was clattered into by the goalkeeper, and it's a penalty to Bolton, and a chance here to take a vice-like grip on this first leg.
Yeah, well, it's shocking defending by Williams. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's almost let that ball bounce. As soon as he lets the ball bounce, he gives himself a problem, because the keeper's committed and he tries to head the ball back and he just nips onto it, and it's a definite penalty all day long.
Well, there have been words for the referee Will Finney from a number of Barnsley players, but it's a clear penalty. Aaron Collins is still having words with Corey O'Keefe. Dion Charles, it seems, will take the penalty. He is now spotting the ball up. There is plenty of chatter around him inside the penalty area, but Dion Charles has already scored once here tonight. He's looking for his 20th goal of the season from the penalty spot here. All the Bolton fans expectant behind that goal. Charles steps up, right-footed. Oh, he makes no mistake. Liam Roberts got a hand to it, but there was too much power there from Dion Charles, and the Bolton fans celebrate once again. The Bolton players join behind that goal. There is still a long way to go, but Bolton Wanderers already have a sight of a Wembley final. They lead here at Barnsley by 2-0.
Yeah, an enormous moment in the game, to be honest with you, Nigel, because it's a terrible decision from Williams. I don't know what he's thinking, and he gets himself in a right pickle with his goalkeeper Roberts. It is a penalty, and at this moment in time, he's the best player on the pitch. Charles got both goals, deserved them with his work ethic and his ability to time his runs. Took that penalty with real aplomb. Never getting there, really, Roberts. I know he got a hand to it, but the pace took it through. Bolton really in the ascendancy now.
It's interesting. Great celebrations from the Bolton players in front of the fans after that, but Ricardo Santos ran from the halfway line all the way up to his players, and he told them all to calm down.
Yeah, and he's right, because it takes a second to get a goal. If Barnsley getting the next goal, it's back on, but they've set the stall out so well, Bolton, in this fixture so far. They look organised, look switched on, they've pressed Barnsley at the right times. Barnsley look a shadow of themselves, to be honest with you.
Well, the Bolton fans away to our left are singing about Wembley already. 2 goals up away from home in the first leg. As Barnsley try and respond here. Earl plays it wide towards the far side. Cadden with the cross in, but again, Ricardo Santos, who has been a man mountain here tonight, will rise and thunder the header away. Out of play for a throw-in on the far side, and Barnsley here have got no response to key players in both penalty areas, Ricardo Santos and Dion Charles.
Yeah, I mean, look, every time the ball comes in the air into the box, Santos is going to get his head on it. He positions himself in the centre of the goal like all top centre-backs do. Key areas, they cover the near post and the far post with the other two centre-backs, and he goes and attacks everything. And anything that's come in there from Barnsley has just been cleared back out 25 yards, and they've had no sight at goal whatsoever.
Well, there's not been a hat-trick in the League One playoff since James Coppinger for Doncaster against Southend back in 2008, before they went on to beat Leeds in the final. But you wouldn't bet against Dion Charles here tonight.
No, he's looked very lively up front. I think both strikers for Bolton have been excellent, to be honest with you.
But they've got pace all over the field, Bolton, and that's such a key asset in the lower divisions.
Yeah, and a desire to chase things. Like, you know, there's been 2 or 3 times where the ball's just been spun in behind Barnsley, you know, with no real aim at any one of them, and they've put Barnsley under pressure. You know, they've made them good balls, and that for me is good forward play. They work together as a pair. You know, they close down together. They're ably supported by the 3 in midfield. They get right up the pitch. I think Magoma coming in at the last minute as a change has been a masterstroke, to be honest with you, because he's been excellent.
Still 1-1 heading towards half-time at Kenilworth Road over on Talksport between Luton and Everton, as O'Keefe comes forward now for Barnsley on this near side, wide towards Williams. He's challenged by Randall Williams, and it will be another opportunity for Bolton to clear, but it's mopped up by De Gevany, and the Frenchman will bring it forward wide towards this near side, and Jordan Williams again taking on Randall Williams. Now De Gevany. Barnsley have got to go for this now. They've got to score at least once here tonight, you feel?
Yeah, I just feel a change of shape as well, because Bolton's locked onto them and they're just making it so difficult for Barnsley.
O'Keefe now charging forward into the penalty area, finding Williams. Williams will go on the right and then goes down looking for a free kick under the challenge of Randall Williams. We can see from here it was a dive, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, they look a little bit devoid of ideas in that attacking third, Barnsley. You know, you're looking at such as Adam Phillips to try and get forward from midfield and break the lines. You know, they've adopted like a 3 now. It's almost like a 3-4-3, but the horse has bolted. You know, they're 2-0 down.
Some of the Bolton fans have their shirts off once again, whirling them above their heads, leading here by 2-0 away from home in the first leg of a playoff semi-final.
I mean, what they don't want to do here, Barnsley, is concede again.
Well, there's going to be another yellow card here for Barnsley. It was a foul on the halfway line. Well, it's a free kick for Bolton. Adam Phillips was booked for Barnsley in the first half. And Will Finney, the referee, brandished the yellow card once ago. I'm not entirely sure who it was to, but it's a free kick taken by Santos, who clips it in behind. Earl, though, gets there before Collins, and then Santos will hammer it forward again. He's not really a two-touch player, Ricardo Santos, but it's very effective what he does.
Listen, he's uncompromising. He just clears.
That's not a criticism at all.
Yeah,
you know,
he just clears his lines. You know, he's an old-fashioned defender, if you like. I mean, he's a man mountain.
Well, Bolton lead here by 2-0, and it looks as though Dominic Thalhammer will be taking over a club still in League One next season, as Randall Williams sweeps into the penalty area and he finds Maghomer, and Maghomer's shot is cleared off the line in extraordinary fashion at the far post there by Nicky Cadden. It seemed Maghomer for all the world had made it 3-0, but Cadden somehow managed to lift that ball over the top.
Well, it's just kept his team in it there, Nicky Cadden, because that's heading for the corner of the goal. It's great play initially by Randall Williams, gets past his man, cuts the ball back, and it's on target. He doesn't stop it. It goes in the back of the net. I mean, they really got the tails up now, Bolton.
Luke O'Connell got that earlier yellow card for Barnsley. Corner kick, which Randall Williams will take on the far side for Bolton. Another goal, and that's surely all over. In towards the near post, it's flicked on, and it's glanced in, and Bolton,
free kick,
think they have their third goal, but the free kick's been given, and Barnsley have a reprieve.
Yeah, lucky there, Barnsley, to be honest with you. I mean, it was a very, very slight touch, but it was a push. They get away with that one. They just need to collect themselves here, Barnsley, get themselves together and try and make some sort of headway into this game. It's been so hard for them. You know, you've got to praise Bolton as well. They've set the stall out brilliantly.
Well, Bolton leading here 2-0. Back in my early reporting days, I remember covering Blackpool against Bradford in the playoffs 1996, when Sam Allardyce's Blackpool led Chris Kamara's Bradford 2-0 from the first leg at Valley Parade, and then lost 3-0 at Bloomfield Road.
Yeah, it can happen. You know, I mean, I just look at this way this game's gone, though, Nigel. You know, Barnsley's offered very little in the way of suggesting that this can flip on its head, this game.
Well, Blackpool printed their Wembley travel details in the programme before the second leg, and Chris Kamara bought 25 programmes and wallpapered the visiting dressing room. I don't think Bolton will be doing anything similar.
No, team talk done there, eh?
Big Sam got the sack after that, but he had better days, not least with Bolton. Now O'Keefe on this near side. Kane high forward looking for Phillips, and Phillips tangles with Toll. Phillips, I think, was backing into Toll, but Toll came over the top, so it's a free kick for Barnsley. And we played 61 minutes here on Talksport 2, and it's 2-0 to Bolton.
Yeah, listen, I know this sounds really harsh, because if I were Barnsley, I'd target Toll, because he's rash. He's very rash when he goes into challenge.
But no weak links have really been exposed tonight, should there be any.
Yeah, they've definitely been lacklustre going forward, Barnsley. You know, you'd expect far more from Devante Cole and John McAtee, although the writing's been on the wall, you know, for Cole. He's not scored for a long time, but just a lack of energy. You know, you're in a playoff game, you've got to turn your blood to water for 90 minutes.
Well, all the noise at the moment is coming from the Bolton fans away to our left. As Santos hammers it forward again, looking for Josh Cogley, but it was either overhit for someone as quick as him. But Barnsley here continue to defend nervously, and they will have to take one or two risks now in this game. Half-time at Kenilworth Road over on Talksport. It's Luton 1, Everton 1. And if you download the Talksport app, you can swipe between both of the commentaries. Arsenal against Bournemouth coming up on Talksport tomorrow at 12:30. We have the final day of the Championship season here on Talksport 2, and we're based at Portman Road for commentary of Ipswich against Huddersfield, with Sheffield United against Nottingham Forest coming up at 3. As Thomason robs Williams inside the penalty area, finds Collins, but it's a last-ditch challenge from De Gevany, and in the end it's hammered over the top, looking for Devante Cole, but he's outnumbered 3-1, the Barnsley striker.
Yeah, they're just lacking confidence here now, Barnsley. You know, the crowd's just starting to turn a little bit. Sometimes as well, when you're struggling with your confidence, it can manifest in, you know, in not putting the effort in. But it's got to be a given. You've got to turn your blood to water, like I say. Here's Dion Charles again.
Well, at the moment, this tie is only heading one way.
It almost feels like Bolton can smell it, you know, and I think sometimes you get a game where you're playing well, you've got your noses in front, you've got the advantage, the 2-goal advantage, and they're going for the jugular here, Bolton.
But why not? Why not try and turn the second leg into a formality? But for the Barnsley fans, all of their worst fears have been realised here. A team out of form, playing a team bang in form, and at the moment the magic of the playoffs has not rubbed off on Barnsley. Corner kick here for Bolton. Sheehan in towards the near post, claimed by Roberts.
That's a nice one for Roberts to come and take. Give him a little bit of confidence. Starting to break forward now, Barnsley.
Devante Cole on the far side, down the line for Connell. Connell's got support from Cadden, but it's further forward to Cole. But again, it's Santos who comes across. He has not missed a thing all night, Ricardo Santos. And I know the headline makers are the goal scorers, but Ricardo Santos is the man of the match by head and shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, he's been excellent. I just think Barnsley have been predictable, going forward. They've not caused him enough problems. They've got to get him out of that central area and drag him into wide areas with the movement and the type of passing that goes down the sides. And they've not. Everything's just gone into him, which is food and drink for him.
Changes for Barnsley. Sam Cosgrove is coming on, and Devante Cole is going off. And Herbie Kane will also make way for Conor Grant. Sam Cosgrove, the former Birmingham player, has only 3 goals this season. And Conor Grant, on loan from MK Dons, has been a player used from the bench in the main. And the reaction to the first change tells you that either Sam Cosgrove is very popular or the Barnsley fans weren't too happy with Devante Cole's performance.
Yeah, they've not been in it, the front two. It's been really hard for them. They've not had the service, to be fair to them. But I think sometimes you've got to make bad balls good balls. You've got to make them good.
Now Toll hammers it forward for Bolton. 65 minutes played here on Talksport 2. We have the second playoff semi-final. First leg from League One coming up tomorrow night. 7:45 kickoff. Oxford against Peterborough with Alex Crook and Sam Parkin. O'Keefe down the line for Phillips, who manages to wriggle away from Toll, but the low bouncing cross into the penalty area is claimed by Baxter.
Yeah, that's a decent ball in, to be fair, from Adam Phillips. Spins his man, gets it across the near post. He can only put it in there. There's got to be a red shirt on the end of it, Nigel, to be honest with you. First thing that Cosgrove's got me thinking of, can I get on the end of everything? And he's second to it.
Hammered downfield again by Baxter. And taken down by Thomason, who's been quietly effective in the Bolton midfield along with so many other players. Now wide towards Williams on this near side. Sheehan turns and lofts it high towards the right, and Cogley. And now Mike Homer takes over. Back towards Cogley again. And Cogley this time has been challenged by Earl, and it will be a throw-in for Bolton. But Barnsley here are having to defend very deep inside their own half. 2 goals down at home with a quarter of this game left. And looking around the main stand here, plenty of glum faces around us, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, look, on the back of this performance, I'm not surprised. They've not really turned up tonight, Barnsley. You've got to make a fight of it. You've got to carry some sort of threat, particularly at home, in the home leg of a playoff encounter. But it's not happened at all for Barnsley tonight.
Toll, square towards Thomason on this near side. Thomason looks for options. In the end, hammers it straight out of play on this near side.
I mean, I have to say as well, they've been a little bit hit and miss, Bolton. With some of the play. They haven't had a lot of quality going forward. They've had the better quality, but they get
one
the
good ball
forward
in and one mistake.
Yeah, they get the ball forward early. They don't complicate it. They get up the pitch as a team. They lock on in midfield. They've got people who want to run after it up front. And it's dangerous, and they've got themselves in front because of it.
Well, Neil Collins was sacked with 1 game to play, but Martin Devaney has not been able to inspire a promotion-winning revival here, it seems. Grant on the far side has support from Cadden. Back towards Grant again. And now Connell will try and head towards the byline. Checks beyond Thomas and plays a good ball into the penalty area. Grant shows good feet but slips inside the box. And then McAtee thinks he was caught on the edge of the penalty area. No free kick given, and Bolton can sweep forward on the counter-attack now. Cogley wide towards Collins on the far side. He comes in field. He's got Mac Homer in support. It slipped in towards Charles, and De Geverny did well to cut that out.
Yeah, it's a great intervention because he was in on goal there, Charles. Would have been his hat-trick.
Now Barnsley look to respond again with Cadden. He's got some space, fires in the cross. It's behind Cosgrove, though. It took a crucial deflection at the near post. Appeals for handball from the Barnsley fans behind that goal, but I think that was optimistic as Randall Williams clears at the second attempt. Now De Gevney, the home crowd, looking to build up a head of steam here. Connell, 25 yards out, but he's challenged and he's lost out to Sheehan. And Sheehan now looking for support as he comes over the halfway line for Bolton. And he's found it from Collins. He checks away from Jordan Williams, but De Gevney comes across to clear. And now Phillips in behind, looking for McAtee, who was offside.
Yeah, a little bit stretched now, the game. Opportunities for both sides at either end quickly there. Just look at Big Santos in the middle at the back. He's not happy with the way that Barnsley nearly got in there.
He's the eyes and ears of Ian Evatt on the field, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's berated 2 or 3 of his teammates on 4 or 5 occasions now. You know, he's desperate for this clean sheet for his team. And that's been the difference, to be honest with you.
And you're listening to Barnsley against Bolton in the EFL League One playoffs on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18+, terms and conditions apply. As a long ball played forward on this near side is headed behind by O'Keefe, and it will be a Bolton corner. 20 minutes to play. Barnsley 0, Bolton 2 in the Sky Bet EFL playoffs. And at the moment, Bolton will be making a winning start here at Oakwell. And they will be planting 1 foot firmly in the Wembley final if it stays like this. Randall Williams with the corner. High towards the far post. It's nodded back into the 6-yard box. Santos rising, heads it over the top, but he's fouled for a push on De Gevney.
Yeah, just looking at the heights in the penalty area there, it's almost a mismatch. You know, when you get Santos coming in, you know, they're not the biggest at the back, Barnsley. Anything that's gone in there with any quality, they've looked, you know, really milky at times. I think it's been a problem for them dealing with crosses, balls down the sides and into the box. They've not really dealt with them, to be honest with you.
Well, Bolton came into the playoffs as the highest ranked team, and at the moment they are justifying that here, and Barnsley are certainly justifying their status as the outsiders, we have to say.
Yeah, but still, I mean, 2-0, if they can just fashion a goal out of this at 2-1, Barnsley, then, you know, there's still a little bit of doubt in Bolton's minds. At this moment in time, the performance that they've got, a stranglehold on the game, they got the 2 goals, the clean sheet, you know, they'll feel they're in the best position they could be in, Bolton.
Bolton have a throw-in just in front of us. Ian Evatt has sent out Carl Dempsey to warm up. He scored against Peterborough on the final day, but was left out for this game. But the return of Paris Maghoma has certainly been justified by his performance as O'Keefe challenges Collins on this near side, and it will be another Bolton corner. And O'Keefe picks the ball up and slams it into the turf, showing Barnsley's collective frustration.
Yeah, he just needs to be careful that the referee doesn't brandish a car because it's dissent. You know,
I don't think it was dissent towards the referee, though.
No, just frustration. You know, he's slammed the ball into the ground, but it doesn't look good.
Corner kick on this near side, which Josh Sheehan will take for Bolton. 17 minutes to play. They lead 2-0 here at Oakwell. Sheehan whips in the corner, headed away at the back post by Earl. Grant will try and gather, but he's heavily outnumbered again for Barnsley. Runs into Randall Williams, and it will be a throw-in. And at times, Neil Redfearn, this has looked like an FA Cup tie between a higher-ranked team and the lower division side.
Yeah, I mean the obvious thing is the physicality. You know, they look much stronger in the challenges, in the duels, Bolton. You know, aerially they've won a lot of things.
And they've won the ball again, and it's Maghoma streaking towards the penalty area, infield towards Collins. He was caught late, but he was already flagged offside, and it will be a free kick. And you say they've been a bit hit and miss, and in terms of football quality they have been, but it's the know-how they've shown, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And how they've managed the game. You know, they've set themselves up in midfield a little bit differently. They've locked onto Luca Connell in there. There's nothing gone through him. You know, so it's been difficult for Barnsley.
Jordan Williams plays it down the line on this near side, looking for O'Keefe, plays it behind him straight out of play to really sum things up for the home side. And one or two shakes of heads from Barnsley fans around us in the main stand, and one or two are getting up and they are going home. 15 minutes to play, but they've seen enough.
Yeah, I mean, you want some interest in it, some vested interest, just some efforts at goal, a threat. You know, not carried a threat, Bolton, Barnsley all the game. You know, it's been a real issue for them.
And we have 15 minutes to play here, plus added time on Talksport 2 as Toll heads away, finds Grant inside the penalty area. Cosgrove! And Sam Cosgrove with a goal for Barnsley. And the atmosphere is lifted inside Oakwell, and this semi-final has suddenly been reignited. A goal really out of nothing, the error from Sam Toll, and Sam Cosgrove was there to sweep in to make it Barnsley 1, Bolton 2.
Yeah, it's a great spot by O'Keefe, just picks him out, Cosgrove, and it's shocking marking for once. I mean, he loses his marker there. Santos comes right in behind him and just slams it in from about the penalty spot area. And it's just what this game needed for Barnsley. It's a lifeline, you know, and they need to react to this now. You look at the dejection on Bolton's faces, everything was going their way. But that's Barnsley back in the game.
And the decision to bring on Sam Cosgrove has produced the result for Martin Devaney.
It's the first mistake he's made, Santos. Just lost his man. He pulled off him there, Cosgrove, and he didn't know where he was. Santos slammed the ball in the back of the net.
Barnsley 1, Bolton 2. McAtee chasing on this near side. Santos, though, will get there first. The back pass to Baxter, and he hammers the ball to safety up towards the halfway line. O'Keefe, though, rising above Randall Williams. It's headed straight back to O'Keefe by Toll, and now Connell plays it forward. Nearly picked out Cosgrove again, but it was cut out well by Santos. Well, that's playoff football for you. You can't take anything for granted.
No, exactly. And it's got a better reaction as well from everything in and around Oakwell.
Now Cogley at the other end for Bolton. Does well to keep the ball in play, but then he runs out of play. But he has won a throw-in for Bolton on the far side.
Yeah, I think he's been good, Cogley, tonight. It's given good energy on that right-hand side. Just what Bolton's needed. Just a change in atmosphere.
Well, you can hear the noise now from the Barnsley fans.
Yeah, all around Oakwell, change of atmosphere. They can feel that there's an opportunity here. Like I said, you know, they've done a lot of good things tonight, Bolton, but it's not been totally convincing for me.
Well, the Barnsley fans, they were going home a few moments ago, but they're suddenly in full voice with 13 minutes to play, and a realistic chance now of levelling things up in this tie.
2-1, dodgy score. Always a dodgy score.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be thorough.
The next goal is absolutely everything.
Absolutely. You know, even in this game tonight, you know, there's long enough left for Barnsley to get another. I think from Bolton's point of view, for all that hard work and for all probably, you know, dominance on the pitch, if you like, it's not been through good football. It's been through, you know, work rate and effort and locking on to Barnsley and making it difficult. You know, destroyed really well, and the front two have been excellent with the movement. But for all that, you know, it could count for nothing if Barnsley get another one in the next 10 minutes.
Well, one or two Bolton fans are going home now. Well, they've seen the best of it, possibly.
Well, we said there'd be goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Cosgrove heads it forward again. And away from home, Bolton always give you a chance. They were 2 up at Peterborough, then 3-2 down on the final day before drawing 3-3. Turned out to be irrelevant in the end because Derby also won their game to get promotion. But it's funny, if they win this game 2-1, on the face of it, it's a great result, but I'm sure Ian Evatt will come out and won't be too happy.
No, that goal that Barnsley's got back left a bad taste, because it's kept the tie alive. At 2-0, going to Bolton, it's a bit of a mountain to climb, but all of a sudden there's a chink of light for Barnsley.
Another Bolton player's been booked on the far side as well for dissent after the concession of a free kick. It's still 1-1 in the Premier League between Luton and Everton over on Talksport. High free kick into the penalty area, headed away on the stretch. Mac Homer is there to guide the ball to safety. 11 minutes to play. O'Keefe now, he's around the back for Barnsley on the right. The cross in, deflected off Randall Williams. It will be a Barnsley corner. And just listen to their fans now.
Yeah, they can start to smell it now, Barnsley. Brilliant play, to be fair, from O'Keefe. He's looked lively all the game. Gets down the sides, tries to get the cross in, it deflects for a corner. Good pressure from Barnsley.
It was Josh Cogley who was booked earlier on. The corner's played short to the edge of the penalty area. Fired in by Phillips, and it's blocked, and that was goal bound. It ricochets out to Jordan Williams. Now wide towards the far side again. A good ball down the line for Grant. Left-hand side of the penalty area. It's cut back, and now Connell onto the right foot. Can't get the shot away. But here is O'Keefe, and they tried something different there, and it nearly produced the equalising goal. Phillips swings in a high cross, which is woefully overhit, and it's gone behind.
But we've had to wait till the 80th minute to try something different, Nigel. You've got to get the ball away from the big man, Santos. Every corner's gone into him. Little cut back towards the edge of the box. Fantastic strike from Phillips. I mean, that's going in all the way. It's a good block in the end, but for the first time in the game, they're finding themselves under pressure here, Bolton.
9 minutes to play. Barnsley 1, Bolton 2. And it's been a typical playoff semi-final, which has had a real sting in the tail. As Randall Williams heads it forward now for Bolton. Collins inside the penalty area. Charles in support, but he's unable to get the shot in, and Barnsley will clear. And McAtee plays it forward towards Phillips. First time ball over the top, looking for Cosgrove, but ambitious, and it's all the way through towards Baxter.
Yeah, it was a little bit hit and hope. Need a little bit more quality on that for Cosgrove to get on the end of. It's made a difference though, the big centre forward, since he's come on.
And Baxter, who was warned for time wasting in the first half, now takes the goal kick. Headed away though on the far side by Earl, and it will be a free kick for Bolton for the challenge on Gethin Jones, and there will be changes made by Bolton. Kyle Dempsey will be coming on very shortly, and it's Paris Maghoma who he will replace.
Yeah, it's been excellent, Maghoma, to be fair. I mean, on the face of it, they've got the goal back, Barnsley. It's an upturn in the game for them. It's got the crowd behind them, but still for Bolton, if somebody had have offered them a 2-1 result away at Oakwell, if it does stay like that, then they'd have snatched your hands off, I would have thought.
And Carl Dempsey comes on. 13,846 is the crowd here at Oakwell this evening. Free kick on the far side. And Cogley will take it. In fact, he will leave it in the end. And it's fizzed in towards Santos, and it's claimed by Roberts. He looks for the early release, high downfield, in search of Grant, and in the end, Cogley got lucky there because he rather got the ball caught under his feet. Could have gone anywhere, but in the end his clearance is charged down by Grant, and Barnsley win it back on this near side. Where was this energy and endeavour from them in the first 75 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. That little bit of confidence that you get from a goal. Just going back to that last free kick for Bolton, though, that's the last place that ball wants to go, straight into Roberts' hands, because that goes straight down the pitch, puts Bolton under pressure. I just don't get it.
Now Cosgrove lays it back to Jordan Williams on this near side. O'Keefe takes over. And De Gevany will loft it wide towards Cadden again. He's got Grant in support, but Cadden with a deflected cross into the penalty area. Santos did well to readjust and head the ball away, but Grant knocks it back towards Cosgrove, and the shot comes in from Phillips. It's blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Appeals for a penalty, but it's wide towards Cadden again. Cadden with the cross in, it's deflected off Williams and tipped over the top in the end by Baxter. That was going in, and Baxter had to make that save.
Yeah, they're under real pressure now, Bolton. You know, it's took a while for it to come, but it's here now, and there's a good 5 minutes of normal time, 6 minutes of normal time, and an extra time as well. They're still in the game here, Bolton.
Corner kick on the far side for Barnsley. And what will they try this time? Bolton have pulled every single player back. Plenty going on inside that 6-yard area. It's an outswinger, and Santos is there to bullet the header behind for another corner kick.
Yeah, I think they've definitely got to do something different. You know, the short corner routine that they play from the edge of the box nearly worked for them.
Corner again. It's another outswinger, and the header. Oh, it's a brilliant save by Baxter. The header from Phillips was goal-bound, and Baxter somehow managed to claw that ball out and send it behind for another corner.
Well, that's a world-class save. That's a world-class save, Nigel. That's going in. It's a great header, to be fair, from Phillips. Good ball in. It's the first one that Santos has missed, to be honest.
Corner again from Cadden. It's deep and high to the far post. It's nodded down. Loose inside the area. Hat clear for now. Jordan Williams loops it back towards the edge of the penalty area, but Bolton will clear, and they will try and break, but Grant does well to slide in and rob Collins. 5 minutes to play. Barnsley 1, Bolton 2 here in what's become a thrilling playoff semi-final first leg here on Talksport 2. Barnsley looked out of the game, but they should be level by now. Cadden now with a high diagonal ball forward. Santos will come out and head the ball away, and he was caught there by McAtee, and a free kick's been given, and Bolton will make a double change. Cameron Jerome will be coming on at the age of 37 to replace Dion Charles, so no hat-trick for him, and Victor Adeboijo, the former Barnsley player, will also come on.
Yeah, they've taken both strikers off just to refresh it a little bit up top. Sensible decision, to be fair.
And Adeboijo has 10 goals this season, back again after injury. And Cameron Jerome is so old, he played when you were playing, I think.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel.
But he's still got a role to play in a big game at the end of the season.
Well, he's vastly experienced, you know.
This is 9th game in the playoffs in his career. I remember seeing him score for Derby once against Fulham, and he was a veteran then, and that was about 6 years ago. Now Cosgrove in pursuit of another long ball forward, but Gethin Jones comes across. Toll with a high ball over the top, looking for Adeboijo. And it will be shepherded out to play by Jordan Williams for a goal kick.
Yeah, good play by Jordan Williams. Really thorough. Got his body in the way and let that run out. It's been an enthralling tie, I have to say. You know, from Barnes' point of view, for the vast majority of it's been probably a disappointment, but they've shown real character to stick at it. Great finish from Cosgrove to put them back in it.
Fabio Giallo, the teenager, will be coming on now to replace John McAtee. And the former Benfica youngster will come off the bench for the 15th time this season. No starts. Two minutes plus added time to play. And it's hammered straight out of play by Liam Roberts on this near side. And it will be a Bolton throw, and they're not hurrying here.
Yeah, they'll take every opportunity to take the time here, Bolton. I mean, a good thing for the tie is, you know they're in the game still, Bolton. Only takes a goal in the return leg to get everything level. But Barnsley will think they're back in business.
But they will need to play a good deal better right from the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Tuesday night. Now Dempsey round the back for Bolton, looking to restore their 2-goal lead. A high ball to the far post. Cogley plays it back in field, but it's cleared away by Earl. And then Phillips will loft it forward. Gethin Jones tries to keep the ball alive for Bolton, but here is Phillips again. A high hanging ball forward from him, looking for Jallo, who bumps Jones off it. Jones comes back and gives some more, and then Cogley has been caught on the far side, and it will be a free kick for Bolton.
Yeah, silly from the Barnsley player. Just keep them under pressure there, Bolton. They're struggling to clear the lines. Give the free kick away, it gets the pressure off them.
And we have 45 seconds of normal time to play here, plus any added time, which will be added on by Will Finney. And I think Ian Evatt may be just inquiring with the fourth official, Benjamin Speedy, how much time there'll be, while also making 1 or 2 points as well. But inevitably, the fourth official has had nothing to do with any of those decisions.
Well, no, exactly. I think the officials have been decent, to be fair.
There have been 1 or 2 tasty challenges, but they've tried to allow the game to be refereed sensibly. Thomason with a high ball into the box for Bolton. And you look at how many saves Liam Roberts had to make. I don't think he's had to make any. Six added minutes, but at the same time, that Maghoma shot goes in. Yeah, but for an incredible clearance off the line, and it's 3-0 and it's tie over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's been chances, to be fair, at both ends, you know, other than the goals. So, you know, Barnsley are still in this. There's no two ways about it. I think the level of performance, you're right, Nigel, they've got to raise the level of performance. They've got to do more. Bolton have got to feel more threatened. You know, after the second goal, they really came on to Bolton for a good 10 minutes after that, and they were looking a little bit worrying, but, you know, they've shown some character, Barnsley, which is what was needed.
And Barnsley will need to show plenty of character on Tuesday, but so will Bolton, because they'll have to deal with the pressure of being overwhelming favourites. And there's still time tonight for a twist in the tale. Roberts with a high ball played forward, looking for Cosgrove, who's having a wrestling match with Santos, which continues when the ball has gone. Jallo then tries to jump for it, but it's cleared away by Sheehan on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, he's not had it all his own way with Cosgrove. Santos, to be fair, is more of an handful. He's a big lad, and he's led the line well since he's come on.
Well, Cosgrove has been named man of the match for Barnsley. He only came on midway through the second half. But maybe that tells you all you need to know. Now Connell, slip forward towards Grant on the far side, and down the line for Cadden. Still time in this game for Barnsley to rescue something. Cadden with a high ball in towards the far post. Phillips with the ball in, tipped away by Baxter. I don't think it was going in from Phillips, but Baxter still had to deal with it to palm the ball to safety.
Yeah, really loose at the back. I mean, it's a great diagonal ball from Cadden. I mean, he's got that in his locker. We've not seen him really in his pomp, because he's a decent player and he's performed well for Barnsley this season, Nicky Cadden. But that was a fantastic crossfield pass.
De Gevany will wind up now for a Barnsley long throw. 2 minutes into added time. De Gevany in towards the near post. It's flicked on, headed away by Jerome, who is back there. One back by Cosgrove. Was he fouled on the edge of the penalty area by Adderley? Not according to the referee.
Yeah, debatable. I think he went down a little bit easy for the referee's liking.
Hammered forward now by Roberts, the Barnsley goalkeeper. It remains 2-1. Cosgrove just misses his kick as Dempsey brings it forward now for Bolton. And it's slipped back towards Dempsey by Odebeajo. Dempsey is in here, but a great save by Roberts to stop Dempsey, making it 3-1, and all Bolton have is a corner.
Yeah, he's kept his team in the game there. To be fair, Roberts needed to do it. Baxter, needed to do it because he's running through at goal, spreads himself really well.
Still Luton 1, Everton 1, over on Talksport. A point will not be enough to lift Luton out of the relegation zone. They'll be level on points with Forest before they travel to Bramall Lane, live on Talksport 2 tomorrow afternoon, and we'll both be there for that one.
I have to say they've made a really good fist of it though, Luton. Everybody had wrote them off right from the off since they got promoted.
Still got a chance. Corner here for Bolton, whipped in towards the near post and all the way in. And it may have gone straight in from Randall Williams, straight in from the corner kick, and Bolton restore their 2-goal lead. 3 minutes into added time. Their fans are jubilant once again, and they're dreaming of Wembley once again. It is Barnsley 1, Bolton 3.
Well, you've got to say, I mean, that's a freakish goal if it's gone straight in. I mean, it's whipped in. You've got to ask questions of the goalkeeper, Liam Roberts, because has he got his positioning right? I'm not sure. I mean, it's a flatter ball that's delivered in. I mean, it's usually in for Santos, but that clears the first man at the near post. It just drops in at the back far post. You know, it's a freakish goal, like you say. Probably a little bit undeserved. Barnsley's reaction's been excellent since their goal, but it's put a different slant on this tie now. 3-1 again, 2-goal advantage.
Well, Randall Williams scored here in added time in the league game to make it 2-2. He scored here straight from a corner to make it 3-1 in added time, and now the Barnsley fans are leaving in their droves.
Yeah, it's a shame for Barnsley, and also for the tie as well, you know, as a spectacle, because, you know, it's made it really difficult for Barnsley.
Well, Bolton have taken their chances. This really has been an object lesson in how to take your chances. A penalty from a defensive error. They've scored direct from a corner. Their first goal was excellent football, but beyond that, Bolton have just picked them off.
Yeah, and they've just been dogged. You know, the general player's been dogged. They've locked on, they've tackled, they've chased. You know, they've been really good in midfield as regards out of possession.
Now Cosgrove will chase again. Santos has actually gone down on the edge of the penalty area. Then he's been pushed over by Owen Toll. Cosgrove hits the deck as well. And players from both sides are now getting involved right at the end of this game. It was an initial clash between Cosgrove and Santos. Santos went down. Cosgrove went to apologise to him. Toll then came in, but it wasn't really his business to shove Cosgrove to the ground. And then both players really got involved where they didn't need to be.
I think it was a little bit naughty there, Cosgrove. It looks like he's trod down the back of Santos's calf. I mean, he's holding his calf and his Achilles. I mean, he's a big man to fetch to the ground, but he's not happy. The reaction from, I mean, it's a yellow card. He's done well, the referee, you know, because he could have easily brandished a red there because he's raised his hands to Cosgrove.
Yellow card for Toll, and presumably a yellow card for Cosgrove as well.
Yeah, I think it's in keeping. I'm not sure it's premeditated. I just think it's a clumsy challenge from Cosgrove.
I'm not sure he booked Cosgrove as well. Certainly booked Toll.
Yeah.
But it will be a free kick for Bolton, and we have played the 6 minutes of added time. And Bolton Wanderers ultimately here have done the job. Another high ball forward. Jerome knocks it down, looking for Dempsey. Cosgrove now plays it back. Dempsey, though, challenging Connell, and Barnsley will have a free kick right at the end of this game. And of course they still have to keep going here because another goal still gives them hope.
Yeah, 90 minutes, 2 goals, it's attainable. Got to play better than this though.
Hugely better. Cosgrove flicks on from the free kick. Santos allows it to bounce. He'll try and shepherd it behind, and in the end it goes behind, and it's a goal kick, and that should be that.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding game. Big Santos at the back, just getting high fives off his teammates there. To be fair, I think Barnsley have aided him because everything's gone down that central area. It's been a nightmare for Barnsley really to try and get the right side of the big man at the back.
Well, they came into this game on a downward spiral, and that's continued. Bolton are the form team in the playoffs, and they have maintained that here tonight, and they will head back home for the second leg with a 2-goal lead after a 3-1 win here at Oakwell. It has been a professional job from Bolton Wanderers, and they have 1 foot in the Wembley final with a 2-goal lead to defend at the Tough Sheet Stadium on Tuesday evening. Neil Redfearn.
Yeah, good performance by Bolton, you know, professional performance. You know, it wasn't pleasing on the eye all the time, and I think they did the dogged and the horrible stuff really well. They locked onto Barnsley, stopped them playing, You know, they had to make changes, Barnsley, to try and get themselves back in it. Showed character to come back at 2-1, but the third goal for Bolton was, you know, has put a bit of a polish on a performance. You know, was going away from him at one point when Barnsley were in the ascendancy, but it's made it still for an interesting tie, a return tie. There's a lot to play for yet.
Well, both sets of players go to their supporters, of course. It's the final home game of the season here for Barnsley. They get sympathetic applause in many ways, but for the Bolton fans, there are real scenes of celebration away to our left-hand side. But they will know there is still 90 minutes to play, and I'm sure that is something Ian Evatt will be reminding his players in the dressing room following this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think, you know, Barnsley have really got to bring their A game, you know, to Bolton to try and get anything past this Bolton side, because, you know, what they lack in quality and finesse, they make up for in an effort and endeavour and an organisation. Has really got them tactically switched on. Ian Evatt, they're a difficult side to play against. But if Barnsley can nick the first goal in the return leg, you know, you never know.
But it's a big ask for them now, trailing by 3-1. Over on Talksport right now, the closing stages of Luton against Everton in the Premier League with Joe Shannon and Scott Minto at 10 o'clock. You can hear the Sports Bar Weekend with Adam Cattrall and Carlton Cole, who'll be taking your calls. 03717 223344 is the number to call if you want to get in touch. Barnsley and Bolton fans can also have your say, or send the guys a voice note on the very same number via WhatsApp. Coming up next here on Talksport 2, we have PGA Golf. But here at Oakwell in South Yorkshire, it has been Bolton's night, and they will believe, although they still have work to do on Tuesday at home with a 3-1 lead from the match here tonight, they could be on their way to Wembley, and the promotion dreams are still very much alive. Good night from Oakwell.